Uh, hey folks, today I'm going to start with some planning. I'm gonna use a Miro board to do that. Let's see. Okay. Let me start the project so that I can verify everything is working as intended. Okay. I'm gonna actually run it in Chrome because it's a bit more developer friendly in my opinion. Okay. Now I want to remove the current saved state. Okay. Now we're starting at a certain level. Like that. Let's change it to the beginning. Start in the menu. All right. Okay, so last time we made the character animations and we fixed the timings and the sequencing. Now this should be fine, and we okay, and we also have some additional upgrades that we have implemented before. So now let's try to modify them. But first let's try to log our plans basically. So the upgrades that we have currently, we have, let's see, if we go to the code, enums, upgrades. Okay, so we basically have these. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna use the green stickers to mark things that we have. So we have the unit ranged upgrade. We have unit golem. We have the warrior. We have the blacksmith. And then we also have, maybe I will mark the unit ones as green, and then the like meta upgrades in yellow. And then we have an inventory slot. Keep difficulty, upgrade, and we have an upgrade that allows us to purchase multiple upgrades at the same vendor. Okay. I think I zoomed out way too much. Yeah. Now, these are the upgrades that we have. And then we also okay, maybe let's think which upgrades would be good enough for the first release. We see. Come on. Okay. I'm gonna start the server. Well. So basically, anyone who is online during the live stream can play live. And the link is going to appear on the top left corner of the stream. Okay. Okay, one thing that I would love to have is ability to call this mechanics. One thing I would love to have is the ability to see the health points on each of the characters that you own. And this means that we would want to have an upgrade that would heal the character. And that is probably I think the healer can take a form of the character, so it's going to be another character that does the healing. Unit healer, and it will be healing whatever character is in front of him. Essentially, if we take, let's say this is the healer, if we put it here, it's going to be healing this character. Which kind of makes sense in terms of the mechanics, because internally the characters have an HP. So it would kind of make sense to show that hidden mechanic to the player. And we'll see if that changes over time the way I envision. Maybe this is not the greatest idea, and maybe it should take a form of a different type of an upgrade. So let's see. Unit healer. That's a good starting point. Gonna mark. Let's see. Emoji. These ones are done. Okay, we need to see HP. We will get a healer. We have the inventory upgrade. We will need to do some rebalancing as well. And for the rebalancing, we need to fine-tune the enemy waves function. We need to adjust difficulty scaling function. Right now, the way difficulty works is let's see where that is. This is basically the function that computes the difficulty based on a number ranging from 0 to 100. And the function returns a number of rows, a number of columns, a number of seconds the level should have, and then the way the wave should be spawned. And the wave is an array It's a one-dimensional array with numbers, and each of the numbers represents a certain certain set of enemies or lack of. And basically, if we open the debugger every time the level starts, now let's see if this is still there. Yeah, so every time we start the level, well, this is my luck, it's one of the levels that doesn't actually implement this interface. Let's do this. Okay, yeah, so basically this is the description of the wave. So we see one basically means a bat, and we see like two bats, and then the next one comes in here, and the distances between these numbers, they're kind of being reflected in the wave. And then the entirety of this array takes the amount of seconds the level has. So if we, let's see, it's 29 seconds, so this should be 29 seconds in length when converted to time units. And when we are going to tweak the difficulty scaling function, we are going to basically set the noise levels, because the way this function is working, it's basically utilizing a Perlin noise, and it's something like this. It's a very, very popular type of noise that is usually used in a variety of applications. It can be used to describe terrain, it can be used to describe like a sequence of numbers, like anything you basically can think of. And then it has this natural feel to it. And one of the ways it's used in this game is in a way of the enemy waves. And also it's being used during the terrain generation. And basically with Perlin functions, with Perlin noise, you can set the scale of noise, and then you can layer it with other noises or with the same Perlin type of noise. And then when you start layering, like when you achieve a certain number of layers, it becomes kind of very organic, and it's difficult to say that it is something procedural. This, for example, like it looks like it has several layers on top of it, but this looks a bit less repeating, like this, for example. Yeah, so the difficulty scaling will be basically adjusting the noise functions and the different layers of noises until we feel like the game is playable. Okay, and then this also means that it's probably a good idea to have a character that kind of can predict what the next level will be like, and it should be placed once the level is has been won. Let's see if we get yeah, So whenever you win the level, you get access to the battlefield. And you can still place your characters there. I'm going to show in 10 seconds. Yeah. So now we can like really take and place the characters, which kind of means, it kind of implies that there is some strategy to this loop. And there are like two different game loops. The first loop is where you do your battle and you place your characters on the battlefield. And the second one is when you're off the battle and you kind of do inventory management. And this is where you could place a character that could give you a hint about the next level. And it could generate because it knows that the difficulty is going to be +1. And then you take that number and you plug it into the difficulty function. And then it spits out all of this data about the number of columns, number of rows. And this information can be showed before the level actually happens when you place this character. So let's see, this is also going to be something purchasable through an upgrade. And then this would probably be unit, let's say Oracle. And then there is this idea of a hidden type of skill tree mechanics, which is basically instead of having the skill tree like in a usual way games kind of have them. Like for example, to access this node, you have to first access, like purchase this node, and then you purchase this node, and then you purchase this node. But we can have the same type of mechanics without explicitly having the skill tree, because basically our skills or our upgrades are being spawned based on the alias method function. Each of the upgrades has its own probability of 1, and then maybe like probability of 10, and etc. And once we purchase a certain type of an upgrade, it could like change the probabilities. Like it could make this probability 10 and then this like 10,000 or something. And that way you're more likely to get certain type of upgrades once you purchase an upgrade. For example, if you acquire, let's say, a ranged unit upgrade when you win the level, having this unit in your inventory means that when you win the next level and you're presented with a list of upgrades, there is a higher chance of getting, for example, a stronger version of this character. And if you don't have this character, then you don't have access, and the probability of the stronger version is 0. So that way, by having certain types of characters, you could get access to better versions of those characters. Okay. Well, this means that there should be like a stronger version of like this characters, probably. but maybe we keep it simple for now. Then there is a huge amount of work regarding the assets. And I want to list the assets that are currently needed. Let's take this sticker, and I think the good way to see it is to go through the sprites function. Let's see what we actually create. So we're creating a tree. Let me do it like so. So we have a tree. We need to draw a tree, and we need to animate it, and preferably like at least 2 versions. We need a bonfire, because the bonfire the bonfire acts. The bonfire is not only the bonfire in the beginning of the game, but it's also an upgrade. And then we need... This is not being used. Right, shadow. Do we need... No. This we don't need for now. Flower. We need some flowers. And the flowers, the good thing about flowers is that they're not animated. Maybe I should mark the animated with different color. The bonfire will be animated, and then I will create separate stickers for each one of them, so I can like take off the ones that I'm done with. I think 4 flowers is enough. And this will be kind of easy. Bushes. We need 3 bushes. A good amount of bushes to have. And, oh, these ones are not animated. We don't really need to animate them. And then we need animated bushes. Three animated bushes. And then some rocks would be nice as well, but they're super easy to draw. Gonna do this. Some grass. Now grass should be animated. Well, it depends. Okay, let's say there is 2 types of high grass, and then 2 types of really just like patches of little dots. High grass. And then I also do this. Grass patch. Oh, yeah. Okay. So there is one more thing that is going to be a bit complicated. Okay, so this is the assets. Let's do some... We also need to have some characters. No, the characters are much more complex, but I think like if I know what the character looks like, it like takes a couple of hours to finish one of them. Uh, so that should be fine. So we have the ranged. We need a melee character. We need the character that earns money. We need a character. We need a character that will heal. We need a character that will act as a tank. And thus we can close this once. And we need some enemies as well. So for the enemies, I think the bat will take a shape of a bee. We also need the oracle. Okay. uh then we need replacement for the undead. We need a replacement for the enemy golem. We need a replacement for the enemy moves. And what else do we have? We have the bat, and also there is a undead bush type of character, and they're visible a bit further in the game. If we up the difficulty, to like 100, 90. Okay, so now the difficulty is 90, and so basically this is the string that represents the waves, and we're going to lose, but the thing will continue running anyway. So these are the undead bush characters. They're kind of sneaky. These are the undeads. So these ones, they will kind of merge with the background when they're not attacking, and they're invincible when they do so. And then so 3 I think it will take some time before we get to the force, because the force, they have mooses and they have the golems, and so basically that makes 5 types of enemies that are currently in the game. Put it to the side. Okay. And then the one big thing that I will need to do is the terrain. because currently the terrain uses like sprite sheets that were like a part of a big pack of assets, and I want to remake them as well so that everything kind of has the unified look and feel. And I think when it comes to terrain, we will need terrain for, and I don't even know how the terrain will look with this type of stylized look, like doodle graphics. Maybe oh, here are the golems. Here they come, and here are the mooses. So basically the golems are just very strong, and the mooses, they attack 2 cells in a row. So basically if you have if you have 2 characters that are confronting one of the mooses, when the moose strikes, both of them will get damage. And okay, let's start, because this is going to be like a proof of concept. We want grass. We want some stones, and we want some dirt. I think we will see, we'll get some insights while we're doing this. And then there is also another direction that we will need to progress in, which is the sound design. And I think I will go for a kind of silly voice recordings that mimic the sounds of kicks and screams and like punches and everything. That I think would be consistent with the style of the game. And it's going to be pretty trivial. It could be an audio atlas, which is basically a bunch of the sounds combined into one file, and then the file is cut in runtime and different parts of it will play and just make sounds. This is good enough, I think. It doesn't make a lot of sense to make a list of every sound right now. Let's see if there is a need for other types of mechanics, because since we have one ticket here, it kind of implies that most of the layers or most of the mechanics are implemented. Okay, one thing like that I can see is we need to get rid of the start over screen, because it was a leftover thing. It just restarts this level, and we don't want that. Start over option. Okay, and oh, we need the sign asset as well. We we need some signs. And then can make an additional like column here with just ideas so that they're present on the board. Then we can have the so there could also be terrain-based skills. Like for example, some characters could be more proficient on certain types of terrain. They would sample the terrain beneath them to get an idea of what layer of the terrain is on top, and the topmost will determine the buffs or debuffs for the character. This seems like an interesting gameplay idea. Oops. Terrain based unit traits. And then this could also apply to the enemies as well, which means that it could be fun to have terraforming units. And terraforming units could essentially change the landscape. And then the Oracle could have an upgrade which would tell you what kind of landscape it is. And then the character that is doing the terraforming you could prepare, maybe like there are different characters, the one who can like put grass and the one who can put dirt. And then based on the landscape you get in the next level, you will get to pick the types of characters that would make more sense to go with, and then you either have those characters or you bring some terraformers with you to change the landscape on the battlefield. And then this means that there could be a character that gives you a little bit of a delay before the battle starts, because then coupled with the terraformers, they could make the battlefield into something that would be advantageous to you. Terraforming. So we like so maybe this should be here. Unit and then unit delayed battle start. And then but this is like just ideas. And then we can have an upgrade that adds, like we currently have 3 upgrades. We can purchase an upgrade that would give you 4 rolls, like 4 upgrades every time you win. Inventory slot. upgrade slot, and these ones are not implemented. Separate them. Okay. Okay. Let's see if there is something else that should be planned in advance. Oh, we need some dust. Oh, that's very true. We do need some dust particles, like this ones. And this would go into animated assets, dust, particles, and then weather particles. This is trivial to make. This white little dots, I'm not sure if they're visible on the video. They look nice. And then some sunshine, but I'm not sure how sunshine might look, but we can experiment. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, we need the UI. Yeah, of course. We need this little UI boxes. And then UI, pick a different color. UI slot. Do we need that? Like these things, they seem pretty trivial. These things, even though there's a lot of them, they're trivial as well. This is trivial. The thing that kind of makes me a little bit uneasy is the rebalancing, because it will take a lot of trial and error to get it done. But seems like for now this is the entire board of tickets. And then in the end there would need to be some sort of conclusion, but maybe it's just a very difficult battle in the end, and then you get a congratulations screen when you achieve it. And which kind of makes me think that there could be another upgrade, because when you die it's permadeath, and there could be an upgrade that you can purchase that allows you to keep your characters, because there could be rare characters. Could be an upgrade that allows you to keep your inventory, basically. Upgrade, keep inventory on death. and there could be an upgrade that allows you to keep X% of your money. So this is, they will act kind of like insurance. Now, these things, they could be characters that you're supposed to have. They could be characters that you're supposed to have. Another idea, by the way, is there could be like a safe hub you can teleport to kind of keep your characters that you can't carry with you. Let's say you have 5 inventory slots and you have like 10 characters that you purchased from upgrades, and you don't want to lose them because you really want the characters, and then you might like get yourself a hub upgrade, which every time you win the level, you get an additional sign on the screen that teleports you to the hub area where you can place these characters, and so you don't lose them. So this means that safe area hub, and I think this should be in here, because it would be very useful to have this. But we'll see. Maybe it's not needed for the like bare bones version of the game. Yeah, this is all I can think of now. Let's double check with the code. Yeah, this seems like this is the scope. Seems like this is the scope. And this is the most complicated thing to do. The rebalancing. And it should be done. It should be done somewhere towards the end. Maybe after the mechanics. Yeah, this is correct. Need to make the upgrades and then implement the rest of the mechanics, and then we need to make sure it's fun, and then we see maybe we get some ideas from here and put it into this bucket. Maybe like make some iterations and see how it plays. But yeah, I just wanted to make some plans today so that next time I can pick a ticket and start working on it. That will be all for today, and see you guys next time.